pride and reputation is reflected through its students and the choices that the students make. Students are the representatives and ambassadors of their schools, therefore they should dress in an appropriate manner. School dress codes play a big role in the reputation of the school district. For example, students that enforce the strict dress code and require uniforms to be worn tend to be looked at as organized, easily recognizable, united schools. The enforcement of the school dress code, where all the students are required to dress within the school's guidelines, creates an atmosphere less prone to cliques and division between the students. Schools with a looser dress code or no dress code tend to be looked at as unorganized and are thought of as careless when it comes to their reputation. A 1994 peer-reviewed study found that students in uniform were perceived by teachers and fellow students as being more academically proficient than students in regular clothes. The study also found that students in uniform were perceived by peers and teachers as having higher academic potential and perceived by peers as being better behaved. Source 2. Schools that enforce a strict dress code are showcasing their unity as a school, and these schools are laying the foundation for success of their students.
1 minute, 12 seconds. Rebuttal?
Individualism is vital to the social structure in schools, and denying someone the right to dress how they want wouldn't help at all. And you talked about this study that was done, and that was done in private schools, you said, but we're talking about private and public schools. And when you talk about a private school, automatically you think of one that's united behind a dress code. It's just what comes with that. It's what you're paying for, exactly. But we're talking about a general picture here instead of just private schools.
Yeah, public schools that enforce the dress codes tend to be from high poverty regions like city schools, and those schools are almost never looked at as more organized or uniform.
34 seconds. Point 2, Con.
Dress codes are praised for the belief that students will exceed more in academics and feel less pressure to fit in. However, it is shown that what students wear do not distract oneself or others while engaging in scholarly activities. Also, students feel more comfortable wearing their own style. When at a young age you are surrounded by popular fashions and emerge your own individual style. With this style, you gain expression and continually figure out who you are as a person through your clothing choices. Source 2 states that uniforms may have a detrimental effect on students' self-image. When students have to wear the same outfits rather than being allowed to select clothes that suit their body types, they can suffer embarrassment at school. If a dress code was enforced, it would prevent the student from developing further into their personality, risking social impairment such as making friends, fear of showing who they really are, or creating a self-conscious mind about their body and personality. Dress codes are said to protect us from feeling excluded from being judged. Yet people criticize more when their personalities are being pushed away from the lack of comfort, freedom and individuality, and when forced to all look alike.
Okay, 1 minute, 8 seconds. Rebuttal?
It's actually shown that having to choose your clothing increases your worry about fitting in or trying to have the coolest new style. So that can actually cause kids to be left out
And you mentioned like how students like express themselves, but you guys are kind of forgetting the saying that goes, you always put others before yourself. And if you're really worried about really feeling comfort over the respect of others and how they see you, then it's almost seen as kind of selfish. And if anything, in terms of being judged, I think someone would judge you more if you were wearing really short shorts and like having a lot of skin exposed rather than you just following the actual dress code.
Also, we're not debating necessarily uniforms. We're debating whether or not an androgynous dress code, where we say X to Y has to be covered, should be implemented. We're not saying you have to go to school in a uniform, everyone has the same uniform. We're not debating that.
Okay, 1 plus. Point 3.
In school, a person's appearance strongly influences the productivity of that individual. Studies show that people who are wearing professional clothing are more efficient in their work and have a greater work output. This is due to the fact that individuals are not as worried about their appearance. According to Ray A. Smith, studies offer indications that wearing nicer clothing may raise one's confidence level, affect how others perceive the wearer, and in some cases even boost the level of one's abstract thinking, the type in which leaders and executives engage. In school, it is imperative for students to remain on task in order to be successful.
Oftentimes, other students' clothing hinders the ability of a student to remain focused because they compare themselves to the other students. According to the National Association of Secondary School Principals, when all students are wearing the same outfit, they are less concerned about how they look and how they fit in with their peers. Thus, they can concentrate on their schoolwork. Once students start comparing themselves to one another, they lose sight of their goals for the day. In the long term, the workload piles up and becomes difficult to finish. Students end up getting discouraged because they're unable to keep up with the workload that initially was realistic and feasible. The purpose of schools is to teach children new ideas and help them learn. So why not ease the pressure by setting up a dress code that can eliminate distractions and create an environment that is easy to work in?
1 minute, 28 seconds. Rebuttal.
Kids learn better when they are more comfortable in their clothes, and according to source 3, surveys show students, especially girls, feel more comfortable when they can choose their outfits without guidelines.
Even if we have a dress code, that's not going to make everyone wear the same exact thing. So kids are still going to, a dress code's not going to stop anything. And they're still going to compare each other. So without a dress code, kids can be free and nothing is going to change when if we had a dress code.
And also, even with a dress code, like a student in our school could still wear sweatpants and a t-shirt, and that wouldn't be a professional look, but some dresses or like skirts even could be not allowed with our dress code, which would be professional.
And it actually, like when you're in school and you get called out for the dress code and you're singled out by the authorities in school, you're more likely to actually, kids who are singled out by their people in power are more likely to be bullied.
55 seconds. Point 3, Con.
The purpose of school is for students to learn so they're prepared for the future. The current dress code, however, conflicts with the primary reasons that students attend school and give the impression that what they wear is more important than what they've learned, according to Document 7. This severely hinders the education of many.
Unfortunately, the effects of this are all too real. In Source 7, a female high school student named Carrie Burgess described her experience when her skirt was deemed too short for school. Burgess, who was the president of her class, was sent to in-school suspension and was later asked to leave the campus. Not only did she miss a day of education, her reputation was put at stake throughout the community when rumors spread as to why she got suspended. Although Burgess broke her school's rules, she and many other female students have faced unreasonable punishments for clothing deemed inappropriate for school. It becomes apparent that the consequences for disobeying the dress code greatly outweigh the results of disobeying the dress code.
It becomes incredibly difficult for students to succeed in school when they can't be present because of a violation of the dress code. This is detrimental, and clearly the rules need to be loosened immediately.
1 minute, 18 seconds. Rebuttal.
I'm kind of struggling to comprehend any law or rule that's set in place. Like what Tyler, what someone on the other team said earlier was that if the dress code doesn't really stop kids from doing it, like, but that's like any law, like it's any debate. Like, let's for instance, like, why do we have gun laws? It doesn't stop criminals from getting guns. It's just like that's any. You're using these adages that aren't really effective at all. And also, we have so much freedom in society and in school. We have so much freedom of expression and stuff. Yet we can't. When a basic limitation, just a basic ground rule that everyone's supposed to follow, like we can't abide by that. Just very simply, like just follow the dress code. It's like, if freedom, oh, I mean, boo hoo hoo, you can't wear like your Casper the Ghost shirt. If we came out with a dress code saying you can't wear a shirt that has like a band on it, like who cares? Wear something else. There's plenty of other things to wear. Like there are basic common sense things that we can follow, basic principles of following authority and adhering to them that I think are being kind of lost in the ocean.